I am from East Syracuse and have lived there pretty much all my life. I'm a mom, and I have a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old, and I work currently at the College of Forestry up in Syracuse, and pretty much been spoiled ever since my children were born, as I was working part-time up until just this past September. I have a wonderful husband and who has supported me fully through this last 4 years experience that I've encountered. As far as being a breast cancer survivor, I know I am, but I don't feel like I am. I kind of put it in the background. I feel like I'm very fortunate. I was diagnosed in July of 2014 with a simple routine mammogram, and didn't turn out so routine. But I feel like I'm very fortunate because it was caught so early, and I was treated and went through surgery, chemo, and radiation treatments. But I kind of now, after that whole year process, which was just a whirlwind, I can't remember much of what actually took place, I feel like it's done and over with. I did have 2 surgeries, actually. It was a lumpectomy on my left breast, and they didn't get clear margins, so I had to go and have the clear margins surgery so that they would come out clear. And then I did treatments with chemotherapy. I had weekly treatments for 12 weeks, and I was HER2 positive, so I also had the Herceptin for a full year. I also had radiation, but throughout that whole time, I'm going to say the whole year's worth of treatment, I actually felt wonderful. I can't say that I ever was like nauseous sick. I felt good. I had Taxol, and it was weekly over 12 weeks, so it wasn't very harsh as some of the chemotherapy treatments. And so it didn't fall out all at once. It fell out like it was just getting thin, but I had prepared my son and my husband, and I told them as soon as I start to see either hair like falling out on my pillowcase or in the shower, I wanted them to shave my head, which they immediately did. And it was just, I never felt sick, so it wasn't like traumatic for me. And I actually ended up getting 2 wigs, and I never wore either one of them. I just wore hats. I think the most frightening part was when I was actually having the mammogram, just going in for a routine mammogram, and I knew something wasn't right. I mean, always in the past, it was a mammogram, thank you, just sit here for a minute and we'll be right in and we'll, discuss it. But it was, stay here for a minute, okay, we're gonna have a sonogram. And then I had the sonogram, they're like, well, we wanna have another mammogram. And then, okay, we want to have another sonogram. I'm like, okay, something's not quite right. And I could tell that was kind of like uneasy right there because I knew something wasn't quite right. When I went to see my OBGYN, she immediately said, I'm gonna just tell you right now that none of my patients have ever died of breast cancer, and you're not gonna be the first. So I said, okay, how bad is it? And she said, well, we won't know until you actually have a biopsy, but it doesn't look good. So I think right then and there, I kind of already knew, like, okay, just tell me what I need to do. And from that point forward, I was just like, everybody, all the doctors and all the nurses that I worked with, I'm like, just be matter of fact with me. I just want to know what to expect. I had some spots that they found on my liver and my lungs as well. So I felt like they were monitoring me a lot more than if they didn't find anything. And that's what I said to Dr. Scalzo one time when he was mentioning to me, I'll have more routine kind of scans than normal. And I said, well, if you didn't find these spots, what would happen? And he's pretty much like, okay, well, you're done. We're done monitoring you. And I was like, okay. But 4 years now has gone by and everything's good. I guess if anything, I can say that I'm like more easygoing, don't get so nervous about things, little things. And, I don't know. I don't think it really changed my life a lot because I wasn't sick, and we try to make our family life as normal as possible. My work schedule was amazing. They worked with me. I only missed 1 day a week. I had a part-time position at the college at that point, and I scheduled my treatments always on Thursdays, and I had Fridays off. Expecting to be sick because they said usually like a day or two after would be the worst. But I never missed any work except for the day of my treatment. It doesn't run in our family. We didn't have any cancer history, so we didn't know exactly like where it came from or what. But I was diagnosed when I was 50, so I did have the BRCA testing done, and luckily it is negative, so I'm not as concerned about my children having the gene. We try to make everything like very normal in our life at home. So our children were 11 and 12 when I was diagnosed, and we just basically just said, oh, by the way, mom's got breast cancer, she's gonna have surgery, and she's gonna have some treatments, she might be sick, you might need to help out around the house a little bit more, just because I didn't want them to get so nervous. And pretty much they didn't even think I was sick the whole entire time I was going through treatments. They knew I was busy. I was going to doctor's appointments all the time and then trying to have help like shuffle the kids back and forth. But really our schedule didn't change a lot. I say that all the time. I am one of the lucky ones. I don't think that I think I'm more or less of a woman now that I've gone through breast cancer. No. I'm very aware of my body, where I never wanted to like have people like look at my body, but after having numerous doctors, nurses, and whomever poke and prod all over, it's basically, okay, whatever. If you need to look at them, you got to look at them. I don't think my romantic life, I believe, has been affected. If anything, I feel a little bit better about myself because not only did I have the surgery because I had a lumpectomy, I don't think that I was probably feeling all that sexy when that occurred, but I had double reconstruction on both breasts. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like my romantic life with my husband hasn't changed at all. I started to participate in some breast cancer group therapy as soon as I was diagnosed because I had no idea like what to expect. Like I said, no one in my immediate family had breast cancer, and very few of my friends have gone through it. So I didn't really know what to expect or where to reach out or even like what kind of questions to ask. So then I was starting to reach out looking for different therapy groups. I did participate in a few. One I really connected with was the Pink Therapy through Kraus, and Lisa Miles kind of runs that program, and she was phenomenal. And I just felt like I connected with people there. And it's not really a big group of people, but sometimes there's 2 or 3 of us, and sometimes there's 10 or 12, and we just get together once a month. But it was very helpful. We don't always talk about breast cancer. We talk about family, and we talk about work, and we go out to dinner, we do some fun things. So it's not always about breast cancer. I mean, sometimes like the topic comes up just because we're concerned and making sure everybody else is doing okay. And I felt a good connection with new members coming in, especially because we all have different backgrounds on what has happened and how we were diagnosed and what our treatments were. I think we can all relate a little bit to somebody who's coming in, and it's the unknown for them, so they're just kind of looking for some kind of guidance. And I feel good about being able to like help and support them. The advice I'd give to someone who is newly diagnosed with breast cancer is definitely reach out to different support groups to make you be a little bit more aware of what to expect so that you're not going to the unknown. There are a lot of people, and again, there's so many different breast groups that you can be part of, and people don't even know all the different avenues that you can get involved in. There's Cancer Connects and the American Red Cross, and there's just so many different ways that they can help you. I've been very fortunate. as far as connecting with different people, finding the right group that works for me, and also just the family support that I have. I know in different group sessions, it's not always the case. So to be able to talk to somebody that may have something similar is really good, to just feel like you can connect with someone. I'm participating in the Look Now project because a lot of women, I guess, probably don't feel good about themselves, and just to give people a little bit of background about what breast cancer is and maybe have a little bit of a connection. I know that you are taking photos so that I know when I was diagnosed, I didn't even know what to expect. I've never opened up a book and said, oh, this is what it's going to look like after you have surgery. I didn't know the difference between lumpectomy and a mastectomy, and what even to expect, or if you have reconstruction or if you have implants. All that was all new to me. The photography session definitely is something out of my comfort zone. But again, you made me feel so comfortable being able to participate in this, and I hope that it reaches a wide variety of audiences, just to know that there's other people out there that have gone through the same thing, and we're out there for you to be able to talk to.